right, we're going to look at this cam question over here. It's got a rather nasty twist to it in that the starting position is not at like the minimum position on this cam shaft. So what we need to do is to start out by drawing the graph first, and once we've got that, then we can go across and start drawing the rest. Okay, I'm going to start out over here, and first of all I need to know what the length of this graph needs to be. It says that 30 millimeters is equal to 7 millimeters. So I need to start out, I'm just going to draw a line going across over here. And I'm going to break that line up into its equal parts. First of all, 7 multiplied by 12 will give you 84. So I'm going to measure off 84 and mark that off on the graph. There's 84. I need to draw a vertical axis to this graph over here. Let's just draw that over there. And I'm going to measure off 84 millimeters over there. Right, once I've measured off that 84, I can now draw a line going out at any angle down here. And I'm going to mark off on that a whole bunch of little marks, more or less 10 millimeters apart. Just 12 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once I've got that, I can take 2 set squares placed together and line that up over here. Get that like that. And I can now start marking off. There's that mark, just make little ticks on the line over there. Don't need to draw long lines going all the way down. That's just going to waste a whole lot of time that you don't really have. There we go. Marking that all out over there. And there. Right. Okay, once I've got that in place, I'm going to draw a whole lot of lines going up on this thing. Just some nice long construction lines going up. Okay. Don't be shy about these construction lines going all the way up from these marks. And try to work as accurately as you possibly can on this, because it is going to influence you quite badly if they are in the wrong places. Right. Okay, let's just have a look at this. It says the cam is going to it's going to rise at first 32 millimeters. Let's just take a little line in the middle of this. I'm going to just do something like this, and I think it'll help you to understand. Right. It says that it's going to rise 32 millimeters in the beginning. 32. Let's just mark that off. It rises. I'm going to go from that point over there. It's rising 32 millimeters. Then it says that it remains stationary. Then it falls 32 millimeters. Then it says that the follower falls another 24 millimeters. Note, I didn't start on that line over there. I made sure that I started more or less in the middle so that I can fall some more. So it's very often useful to just read through this before you start. See that I've labeled where the degrees are in this story, and I'm going to start out and we're going to look at drawing the displacement diagram over here. It says from 0 to 75 degrees on the follower will rise to 32. Now, where is 75 on this thing? Right, so we need to find where 75, we know it'll be somewhere in between over here, but how many millimeters across? So 75 degrees, how many millimeters does that equal? How do we work that out? We say the scale is equal to 7 millimeters is equal to 30 degrees. So I say 7 millimeters divided by 30 degrees gives me 0.23 reoccurring millimeters per degree, all right? Then we can say, okay, 75 degrees multiplied by 0.23 reoccurring millimeters per degree. Note the degrees are going to cancel out with each other, leaving me with millimeters, and I end up with 17.5 millimeters, which means I can now measure off 17.5 millimeters as accurately as I possibly can. I come across over here and I mark out where 75 millimeters is going to be, and I can draw a line going up over there. Right, so let's draw that line going up at the 75 millimeters. There we go. And I can now measure up from this point over here the 32 millimeters that they say the thing is rising. So there we go. There is 32 millimeters. All right, so we've measured our 70.5 millimeters going across to that point, and then I've measured up, not from that base over there, but from this point over here, up 32 millimeters. Right, once I've got that in place, I can now draw in that line going up to show the rise of my cam follower. Right, it then says from 75 to 120 degrees, the follower remains stationary. So in other words, it's going to go across, there's my 120 over there, go up there, and it's going to go horizontal from that point. There we go. Right, from that point, it says that from 120 to 195, the follower falls to 32. Again, we don't have a 195 marked on here. I know that it's going to be somewhere in between there. So how do I find that out? Well, I come across to this thing over here, and I say that I've got 195 degrees multiplied by that 0.23 millimeters per degree that we worked out earlier, and I end up with 45.5 millimeters. Right, once I've got that, let me measure off 45.5 millimeters, and I come across over here and I pop that down. You can see that it's in between that 180 and the 210, and I can draw up a line going over there. Right, okay, it says that the follower is going to fall 32 millimeters. Well, that's just falling straight back to that line that I've got over there, and I can then draw in that line. There it is. Right, it then says from 195 to 240, it's going to remain stationary. So there we go. There's the line coming from 240. Move this T-square up over there and draw a line going across there. It then says from 240 to 300, the follower falls 24 millimeters. Right, so I can measure off 24 millimeters, and I can go to 300. 300, there we go, and I measure off that point over there, and I can draw a line falling down over here. Now you'll see that the reason why I didn't put my numbers, my degree marks over there, is it's going to clutter up my graph. Okay, once I've done that, it then says from 300 to 360, the follower returns to its original position. So there's 360, and that was its original position. Okay, so I can now draw that going back up to there. And that is my graph done. Once we've finished drawing that, what we're going to do is to first of all label this cam displacement diagram, rotation in degrees, and scale 7 millimeters is equal to 30 degrees. You can see why having that scale is quite important to find those lines that are not exactly on the 180, etc., etc. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start drawing a center line where I want to place my cam profile, and I'm going to take a line coming across from my starting position on this thing. It's going to come across from here, and I now have the starting position for my first roller bearing that we've got over there, my first roller at least. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to set my pair of compasses to a radius of 5 millimeters because it's a 10 millimeter diameter roller that we've got in place. So here we go. Right, we're now going to find the center of the camshaft over here. Okay, now note that that is not the minimum distance from the camshaft. That's quite a level above the minimum distance. There's our minimum distance over here. So I'm going to draw that across. Okay, so that's my minimum distance over there. And then it says that it is The minimum distance from the camshaft center is 16 millimeters. So I then take 16 millimeters and I measure down from that point over there 16 millimeters. Right, there is the center to my camshaft, and I can draw a center line going across there. Long dash, short dash, 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 long dash. Right, there we go. Once I've got that, it then says that I have a radius, camshaft of 16 millimeters. So I can take that and I can draw in a 8 millimeter radius. Give me a 16 millimeter diameter camshaft. Whoops. Let's try not to do that. Okay. Right, and straight away, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the hatching on that. Right, there's my 45-degree set square. They always ask you to hatch this thing. It says hatch the shaft, so let's just put hatching across that shaft as fast as we can. Right, after that, well, I can start taking lines across onto 30-degree things. Now, do I have a maximum for this camshaft or this profile? Yes, I do. I've got it over here. So I'm going to pop this thing. There is the maximum that I'm going to go to. And then I'm going to measure up 5 millimeters from there because my roller is a 10 millimeter diameter. So there we go. I'm going to do that. Okay, and so I've got a point over there. I set my pair of compasses to that. This just neatens it up a little bit. We don't really need to do this, but it will make life a whole lot neater when you are doing this thing. There we go. I'm just going to draw a nice construction line circle going around there. And I'm going to break this up into all the various parts. There we go. That's that. And sorry, let me do it in color. It's just easier for me to see it and you to see it, I think. So these are construction lines that I'm doing over here, going out to the edges over there and over there. And let's just flip that around and draw another line going across there and another line going across there. I did that one a little bit too light, I think. Let's do that a little bit darker for you guys to see it. There you go. Okay, and that one can also be darkened up. Okay, so those are all construction lines going across there, and I can now start labeling all of these points. Right, this will be 0 degrees. Now, which way do I go? I need to see that this thing is going in an anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so it's going in an anti-clockwise direction. That is going in that direction then. So I can draw in a little arrow over there, anti-clockwise direction, which means that my 30 must be over here, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, and 360. And I almost forgot to put degrees in on all of these things. So let me do that quickly. There, 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 and there. Right. Okay, once I've got that, I can now start taking lines across. I've already got my one roller in there, and I must copy out this whole story over here onto that so that I can get all the marks for what the detail is there. I'm going to draw that, and then I'll come back. Right, once I've drawn all that information over here, there are 2 more lines that I need to get on this thing. Remember, there was this one that was at 75 degrees, so I need to take my protractor, place it at the center over there, and I'm going to measure around to get that 75 degrees over there. When you're marking this, a good idea is just to make a little V over there, okay? It makes a very accurate mark that you can measure a line out to, and you're going to draw a little line going out from the center to that little mark that I just made, accurately going out there. And once you've got that in place, the next one, it says that you need to measure off is 195, okay? So that would be 180 plus 15 degrees. So I can take my protractor over here, get that all lined up beautifully over there, and I'm going to come in over here and measure off 180 plus 15 degrees, make my little mark over there, and I should be able to draw another little line coming out from the center to that point over there. You could label those two as 75 degrees and 195 degrees. Right, okay, once you've got that, you then need to take these measurements across here. We're going to go up here and we are going to take a line coming from the 30 degree, coming across to that point over there. And same story as we have done in the past, we take our pair of compasses, extend them to that point over there and wind that round onto the 30 degree, giving me that little point over there. I then take my pair of compasses that are set to a 5mm radius, in other words, the same as that over there, pop that in over there and draw a little circle. Okay, construction line circle. The next one that we need to do is the 60 degree. Take that across. There it is. Take my pair of compasses, extend that out to that point over there, and arc that around to the 60. Once I've got that point, take a pair of compasses and draw in the little radius that you need for the little roller. And then we go up to this point over here. Let's take that, that's the maximum height. Now we've already actually drawn that in. Remember, I needed to get that circle at the beginning. So I'm going to take that up there, rotate that around to the 75. Okay, remember, there it is, there's the 75, and I'm going to draw in my little circle at that 75 degree point. There we go, just draw that in. Okay, that radius is then going to remain the same all the way across to 120. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to extend my pair of compasses still to the same thing, and I can actually draw a solid arc going all the way around to that point over there. All right. Okay, once I've got that, I need to then drop down. It says I'm dropping down. This is my 120 that I'm dropping to. Take that across over there. And I'm going to knock that in over there. Remain stationary to 120. 120 to just 120 to 150. So I'm going to 150 over here. There's my 150 line over there coming across. There we go. And I can continue around over here to 150. And I draw in my small little circles on all of these points at 90, at 120, and now at 150. Don't forget to put those little circles in. Right, just finish that circle off, just to make it look a little neater. It actually wouldn't matter too much. Oh, I really am making a mess of this. There you go. Sorry, let's just do that. Okay, there's my little circle. It says that from I need to go to the 195. Sorry about that. Let's go to 180 over here. Take a line coming across from 180. Take my pair of compasses, extend them to 180. There we go. Wind that around all the way around over here to where it says 180. Take my pair of compasses over here, knock that in over there, draw the little circle, this little construction line circle there. I now need to go to 195, okay? There's the thing coming across from 195. It's over there. It's basically back to that same point that it started at. There we go. Knock that around to 195. Draw in the little circle. Okay. From 195 to 240, it remains at that same point, so I can draw a line coming around to 240, okay? Note it's a construction line. I think I drew that in dark, but that was not what I needed to do. Just a construction line, and we're going to draw in a little circle at 195 and at 240. 240 over there. Right, from there, it drops down. So I go to 270 over here. 270. Take that across over there. Knock that in over there. Wind that around to 270. There's 270 over there. Take your pair of compasses, draw in the little circle. 300 is at the minimum. Okay, so we've already marked that minimum position. You can see it over there, coming across over there, there's the minimum. So 300, I can take that off, and I can mark off where 300 is. That's the minimum position. Take your pair of compasses, draw in the little circle at that point. Okay, and then it starts rising again. 330. There is 330 over there. Take that across, take that across over there. Extend your pair of compasses. Wind that around to where it gets to 330. And take your little pair of compasses over here. Lob that in there. Draw in a little circle. And that's the last little circle that you need to do. Once you've done that, you then take a pencil and you are going to do little tangent lines going between these, a freehand curve going, just making tangents to these little rollers that you've drawn in, coming around over here. There it goes. Quite nicely there. Let's just get a bit more of a curve on that. That goes over there, going over here, going over there, going over there, coming around here, going down over here, coming around over here, looping up over there, and coming back to that point over there. Once I've got those things in place, I can then take my pencil and I can draw in over those little dots that I just made a nice curve for the cam profile. There I go. Let's just do this. This should be basically a perfect arc going around here. And then it goes down. And then it goes from there. Nice little arc that goes around from there to there. Nice little arc that's going to go around over here and knocks in over there. Let's just do this. There it goes over there, there, and there we go. Right, I need to write in the heading for this thing, the cam profile. Knock that up at the top over here or somewhere over here. I'll just put that over there cam profile. Profile. And that is basically everything that you need to do for that drawing. I think I haven't written in the stuff over here saying displacement in millimeters. D-I-S-P-L-A-C-E-M-E-N-T diagram. Not this displacement diagram, displacement in millimeters. That's what I meant to write there. Displacement in millimeters. Where's my brain? In millimeters. You can do that with small letters, as it's an ISO symbol. Right, there we go. There's your profile and everything done.